took me 24 hours to get to Japan from the Philippines. Usually, Cebu, Philippines to Narita, Japan would only take around 5 hours of flight. But I didn't go to Narita. I'm in Fukuoka. And there are no direct flights from Cebu to Fukuoka. So that means I got 12 hours of layover in Manila.
This is fine.
Here's how I survived traveling solo, 45 kilos of baggage, Philippine immigration, and the aforementioned 12 hours of layover. 9 p.m. I left my husband's family's home for the airport. We arrived in Mactan International Airport around 9:30ish. When I dropped my luggage at the check-in counter, the agent started to ask me questions immigration would ask me. It felt like a pre-immigration interview. He asked me why I was going to Japan, how long I was staying, and then he asked to see my return ticket back to the Philippines. I wondered why he was asking me these questions until he told me that the next time I was going to see my bags is going to be in Japan. Yes! This was a big deal to me because it meant that I didn't have to carry my heavy luggage by myself. For context, I'm 45 kilos. My bags were also 45 kilos. I can't carry that by myself. My flight to Manila was still at 12:50 a.m., so I had a few more hours to burn. So I read a book at a coffee shop. I was reading Children of Time for all you sci-fi nerds out there. It's an interesting book. I didn't drink coffee because I wanted to sleep in the plane. I was gonna take all of my chances to sleep. And then I did a little bit of skincare because I know that airplane and airport air is really stale. I really had to make sure that my skin was hydrated. Even after that, there's still a lot of time to burn, so I sat in those massage chairs for 45 minutes while concentrating that I don't fall asleep accidentally. Pro tip, always have multiple alarms. Finally, it was time to board the plane and fly to Manila. It was a small Sebgo plane and it was very cold. Seriously, is it just me or all Sebgo planes are super cold? But I was determined to sleep, so I did. 2 hours later, I'm in Manila, which means it's time for immigration. One thing that's super awesome about being at immigration during this time is the lines are so short, which I think contributes to the disposition of the immigration officers. It makes them nicer. These are the things that I got asked during immigration. My passport, visa, and boarding pass, of course. Then he asked me why I was going to Japan to visit my husband. He asked how long I was staying, around 28 days. If my husband was Filipino or OFW. He is Filipino, but he is not OFW, although he works here in Japan. If he were OFW, I would then have to present the Overseas Employment Certificate, which we don't have because he's not OFW. Then he also asked to see my husband's ID, either his passport, visa, residency card, or company ID. I showed him the residency card and the company ID. They were in the same photocopy. Then he asked if I was employed. I said yes, and then I showed him my certificate of employment. My COE indicated that I could work remotely and how much my salary was. So yeah, so far, this trip has been amazingly easy. I was shocked by that. I prepared a lot more paperwork that I didn't ended up needing. But as they say, it's always better to be prepared. Now that that's done, it's time for my 12-hour layover. What am I gonna do for the next 12 hours? Number one, get lost. It was still too early for me to know my gate, so I just walked around the airport aimlessly. Number two, find a quiet spot to sleep while there are not a lot of people at the airport yet. Number three, eat breakfast. This food was actually really nice, but I had zero appetite. I think I was still high from adrenaline at this time. At least the coffee was good. Number four, try to learn Japanese. This is me smashing my super beginner level hiragana. Number five, plan out my life. Here's me taking notes on what kind of videos I wanted to do while in Japan. Number six, play Planet Alpha, and then I stopped because it was making me sleepy. Number seven, play Vampire Survivors, but even that was also still making me sleepy. So I threw all of my inhibitions away and I played Just Dance in public. One of the good/bad things about Just Dance on the Switch is that it can only capture hand/arm movements with the Joy-Con, so you can just play it while sitting on the floor at the airport so less people can see you. But you know what? That was great and it actually woke me up better than coffee. Then I had cup noodles, but I still didn't have an appetite. I just knew that I had to eat something. But yeah, I didn't finish that. And then I changed my inner shirt and I did my skincare and makeup because I wanted to look pretty when I see my husband for the first time in 4 months. And then finally, it was time to board the plane. Japan was literally one tulog away. Before you fly to Japan, it's best to complete your e-travel and your Japan immigration and your customs declaration thing online. You can do these things 72 hours before your flight. The links to these things will be in my description box, but if you're gonna apply for your visa via an agency, they should be able to give you those links as well. But yay, I'm finally in Japan. When I arrived, I was smiling the whole time. The plane ride was amazing. We arrived earlier than expected. And then the Fukuoka airport was so organized and quiet. I wasn't able to take a video, but this little beagle was bomb checking my bag and he was so cute. I was just so happy to see my husband again, and then we went to this conveyor belt sushi restaurant called Kura, and it was delicious and surprisingly cheap. By the time we reached our apartment here in Japan, it was already 10:30 p.m. So yeah, 24 hours of travel. So yeah, if you enjoyed this Japan vlog, do subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!